Want to know a bit more about parrot behaviour? Watch this video to find out. Hello everyone, welcome back to the Parrot Teacher. I'm Dave and today I'm doing a sort of general parrot behaviour guide. I have done loads of species specific guides on conures, cockatiels, a couple of other species, but I wanted to give you some tips on what to look out for in generalised parrot behaviour, because there are some common behaviours amongst different species of parrots that we can look out for, that we can be aware of and learn from, because the more we know about what they're telling us through their behaviour, the more we can react appropriately and we can know exactly how they're feeling. Now do keep in mind every parrot is an individual and there will be species variations, and also you need to look at behaviour in context to the surroundings, because parrots are annoyingly complex in the way that one behaviour can mean multiple things dependent on the context of their surroundings. So do keep context, their species and maybe even their life stage in mind and their individual personality when reviewing what I'm talking about in this video. Now the first very common parrot behaviour I want to talk about is eye pinning. Now Sophie has a specific video on eye pinning, I'll leave a card for now, well worth exploring, but I needed to include it in this video. Eye pinning is a great tell when it comes to many parrot species. It's a little bit tougher with cockatiels or conures because their eyes are so dark, but with species like macaw or ringnecks, it's really obvious when their eyes are pinning, and it can be a great way of us gauging how their mood is. Now, parrots tend to pin their eyes, which basically means their pupil gets very, very skinny. It's almost like a pinprick in the middle of their eye, and they're focused on something. Now, when a bird eye pins, it generally means they're very interested in something, very overstimulated or very excited. You frequently see this behaviour when a person they like comes up to them, or they see their favourite food, or they get very overexcited about something, or even nervous, which is why I talk about context. So when your bird's eye pinning, have a look at the rest of their body language and see what they're telling you. Are they excited about something? Are they nervous? Are they worried? It can even be a precursor to biting. So if you have biting issues, look for eye pinning immediately before a parrot bites you. Now, next behaviour that's kind of common to a lot of parrot species is bobbing or swaying. So bobbing like that or swaying. My birds aren't here to give me perfect examples, I'm afraid, today. They're currently having their snacks. So bobbing and swaying. When you're talking about bobbing and swaying, these tend to be overstimulated or overexcited behaviours. When a parrot is swaying constantly, they're either a bit unsure about something or very, very overstimulated. Bobbing almost always means overstimulated or excited. These two behaviours are very common amongst loads of parrots, and I would even argue that bobbing is kind of like almost a precursor to swaying sometimes. When your parrot's bobbing, it tends to be an excited behaviour, just excited. When they start swaying, that can mean a bit worse. That could probably mean they're getting a bit fruity, maybe. A lot of people use that word, I hate that word, why am I even using it? Getting a bit overexcited and a bit nervous or stressed maybe. So do watch out for bobbing as a precursor to swaying as well. If your parrot's constantly swaying, you've either taught them to sway, because it can be an acquired behaviour, or maybe they're a little bit worried or stressed about something. And next up I wanted to talk a little bit about feather position, because parrots communicate with each other a lot through the position of their feathers. It's one of their primary means of communicating with each other, and we don't speak parrot, we don't speak feather position. But there are a couple of generalities that we can infer from their feather position. If your parrot is generally fluffed up and relaxing, especially if it's coupled with foot tucking, that generally means they are relaxed. If they're fluffing up and relaxing, you know they're in a chill mood, they're getting ready to sleep, or they're content with their situation. Similarly, if their feathers are all very slim and slick, that could mean they're getting ready to fly, they're excited about something, or they're very nervous about something. And you'll also see these behaviours in combination with others. If you see your macaw, for example, their feathers are ultra slim and their eyes pinning, maybe they're nervous about something. If they're fluffed up, their eyes a bit more relaxed, then it's okay. Oh my goodness, I've just thought of nuances to this, so I'm going to try and keep it simple and not talk about nuances because I'm afraid I'm going to confuse you guys. There are nuances to this, for example, when parts of the feathers are flat and parts are ruffled up and the eyes are pinned, which means overstimulation. But let's keep it nice and simple. As a generality, fluffed up tends to mean relaxed, slim tends to mean ready for action or getting ready to fly. Now, one behaviour with no nuances, I'm glad to say, and it's pretty universal across all parrots, is beak grinding. It is my favourite parrot behaviour, I love it. A parrot grinds its beak when it's getting ready to relax. It's kind of like a crunching motion, a noise they make with their beak when they're chilling out, when they're relaxing, getting ready to bed. You'll often see it paired with foot tucking or fluffing up. And beak grinding universally means, yeah, I'm pretty chill, I've had a tiring day, I want to relax and fluff up now and go to sleep, or you've given me some nice snacks and I'm just going to chew on them a little bit. I frequently get questions about this on my Conure and Cockatiel behaviour guide, so I had to put it in this one, and that is crop clearing, where your bird will almost make a kind of gagging motion and open their tongue, and they'll do it repeatedly. Sometimes they'll do this for yawning, you just see it once, like, excuse me for the demonstration. Other times it'll be repeated, and that's the differentiation. If they do it once, it tends to be yawning. If they do it over and over, it's crop clearing. And people think, oh my goodness, my bird's choking or gagging. No, often they're just shifting food from their crop down into their body to digest. It's a really common behaviour, do not panic about it, it's nothing to worry about. Pacing is another sort of generalised behaviour among parrots, where they'll pace up and down their perch, and again, this tends to mean overexcited. If you see your bird pacing constantly without any context behaviour, for example, if you approach the cage, they start pacing and they want to come out, that's just what they do, and they're telling you they want to come out. If your bird's just pacing constantly all the time, in combination with swaying and other stuff, that could be something called stereotyping, which means they are very stressed and the environment's not good. So do be clear on the differentiation between the two. Foot checking, a lot of conures and a lot of macaws will do this, although I've seen it with all parrots, where they'll literally stop and start staring at their feet. They'll also sometimes nibble each other's feet as well. When a parrot's foot checking, I've done a video dedicated to this, I'll leave a card for that now, they're generally just checking their feet. There's loads of different theories for it, but no one's got a definitive answer. They also like to nibble each other's feet, and that's another form of communication between parrots. Sometimes they will bite each other's feet, which is pretty clear, I don't want you near me, I'm trying to get you off your resource, or just go away. But sometimes again they'll nibble each other's feet, which is a precursor to preening or relaxing each other. And that sometimes translates on us humans. They will nibble us lightly because they want to be preened, or they want us to do something and we're unaware and we kind of assume it's biting. So be aware, I just literally said that, oh, goodness. Be aware that when they're doing some foot tucking or biting, including on our little appendages, it may not always mean what you first think it is. When your parrot's lunging at you, and I'm surprised I have to include this, but I have had a few questions about it, it's pretty definitive behaviour. If your parrot's lunging at you, that means it's uncomfortable, or it doesn't want you getting near it, or maybe presenting your hand to it. It's a very clear sign of saying no. I'm not sure how people misread this kind of behaviour, because it's a very, very clear one, and it's, I mean, if you saw any creature lunging at you, you'd be like, whoa. So with parrots, it means basically what it looks like. They're just unsure and very unhappy about something. Now, this last behaviour I want to cover in this video is trembling. A lot of people, again, get mixed up with this behaviour and they apply like anthropomorphic values to it, values for us. If we're trembling, it generally means we're really cold and we may be a bit scared. With parrots, trembling is more commonly associated with regulating body temperature. They're not actually trembling, they're just trembling their feathers to regulate their body temperature, and it's very common with a lot of parrots. If you see them doing it for a little while, it's not a worry. But again, nuances. If your parrot's constantly trembling and they're constantly shaking, that could be a sign of stress or cause for concern. If they're doing it for a little while, a few minutes, not a problem. If it goes on for ages, I would maybe look into it further and consider other options, and maybe even get them a vet checkup. So there's probably loads of other behaviours I could have covered in this video, but again, if you've got a Cockatiel or Conure, watch my guides on that. I've got loads of behaviour content on the channel to explore. I maybe will do another one of these if you guys liked it, but in the meantime, take care and see you later.